Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Janet Law. A near-death experience at 22 years old caused a big shift. Janet is a conduit of body, mind, spirit connection techniques. She attunes herself to the interconnectedness that exists between all living things. As a consciousness teacher and leader, she embraces life with vitality and resonance. Her recent creative project is Conscious Conversations, an online forum that encourages micro conversations so macro conversations can occur in our global world. Her recent TEDx talk entitled The Healing Power of Trees embodies her grounded and rooted love of nature. Janet was recently published in Health, Wealth, and Wisdom magazine with an article entitled The Healing Power of Creativity. Her recently completed play, entitled You and Me, was performed at the Vancouver Fringe Festival in September 2022. She continues to live life as a curious adventure. She has walked on hot coals 5 times, and one of those broke the Guinness Book of World Records with 4,000 other participants. She is an apiarist. In simple terms, she knows how to take care of bees, a beekeeper. She has climbed a telephone pole in harness, stood on the top of it, and jumped off in harness, of course. Welcome, Janet.
Greetings and thank you to each and every one of you as people. I want to thank you for that warm and wonderful introduction and for the beautiful music that set the tone, and of course the prayer treatment at the beginning. I so appreciate it. We are so grateful to know so much magnificence on this land. Wherever you may be here with us, but here at CSL on a lake where we are close to the water, and it is a powerful place where the water and land unite, where trees grow and living things can be honored, and to wherever you are joining us from wherever corner of the world here today, we know that we are in gratitude to the place that we inhabit here on Earth, to our home galaxy called the Milky Way, which is a spiral galaxy with a disk of stars spanning more than 100,000 light years. Our Earth is located along one of the galaxy's spiral arms, about halfway from the center and beyond that many galaxies are soon to be discovered. Gratitude to the sun who gives us warmth and light, and gratitude to the moon who comes out at night to show us and lead the way with the stars illuminating the night sky. Think about it. 8.2 billion people that inhabit the earth, and you all showed up today. Thank you for being here. Well, we're kind of hanging on to January, so I still think I can say Happy New Year. And I heard that an optimist stays up until midnight to ensure that the new year is in, but a pessimist stays up to make sure that the old year leaves. And someone also recently told me that last year they were able to keep all of their New Year's resolutions tucked away in a journal on their bookshelf. But I know that you are not that kind of person, seriously. So I know here at the CSL Center that you have been through your burning bowl to release what is not working in your life, and that you also had your Whitestone Sunday where you all chose a word that represented your spiritual essence. I trust that you were all guided to the perfect personal word for the year. I had a very strange one show up. The word that came up was perk, and it means to be energetic, to be percolating new ideas and possibilities. And I'm so committed to that this year. I'm so committed to that word and to being that essence. So how about all of you? Are you living from that spiritual essence of who you are? You know, there are so many transformative processes, and today I would like to focus on a very powerful tool for transformation, Mastermind consciousness. And we will be having a guide through the 8-step method of prayer, of affirmative active living, designed for all of us to experience spiritual transformation in this now moment. We are all born of this earth, and yet we are so much more, each of us weaving the stories of our own life and interconnected to it all. We have an opportunity today to see the personal world that we live in expanded with divine spirit as our guide, our individual Christo nature, meaning our enlightened self, our cosmic Christ consciousness, or whatever word you choose. This story of creation, your creation, is told in every wisdom teaching and tradition from the beginning of time. That breath of love was breathed into the world, and each tradition tells about the creative process in a unique way. You know, we live in our human bodies, yet we are spiritual in nature, and our work is to create consciousness through our inner life so that our outer life can reflect this consciousness. And through us, in us, from us, and in all of us. This story is your story, always creating light, being the bringer of light and possibility. And we are so intimately and infinitely connected to this. So attaining this mastermind consciousness, this ability to work from divine mind, where the heart and the head and the body are working together to allow this consciousness to expand, is an extremely powerful prayer process. And it can be used anytime, anywhere. And it reminds us to wake up to your amazing talents, strengths, abilities, and prayers. That it is a way to affirm and ask for the desires of your heart to come to fruition. It engages our ability to trust the universe. And yes, we must trust the universe. It knows what it is doing. Mastermind is being that co-creator with the divine in your life, and to experience the divine expression in all areas of your life. There are so many wide varieties of spiritual experiences, and engaging in mastermind consciousness through these steps is but one tool that will assist us in transforming these areas, and that everything in life is within our grasp. And if we could just let go of our egoic tendencies, and I know that in your CSL experience, that you have treatments and many ways to do this. It is our natural state to seek spiritual experiences in our everyday life. So these wisdom teachings abound. They're all around us. They come through us, as us, for us. And I just want to remind us for a moment that January is also known as Black History Month. And there is a great Canadian jazz musician named Eleanor Collins. And Eleanor made her transition last year at 104 years old. But her legacy lives on because she was known as the Jazz Lady of Canada. and is internationally and was internationally known. She received the Order of Canada and in 2022 had a stamp unveiled in her honor. A luminous soul who graced the lives with her melodic voice and unwavering spirit. And her legacy transcended time as she weaved the jazz notes that she sang, and all barriers were shattered. She went on to be the first Black woman to have her own television show called Eleanor Sings. And Eleanor's career continued as she raised her family and also dealt with tremendous racism. She went on about her business to shine her light in the interest of human welfare and employed many different kinds of social impact work in order to make a difference in the lives of others. She was unafraid to learn new things. She did that at every stage of her life, and she enrolled in spiritual thought, and she took on the practice of yoga, meditation, and was a student of holistic health. And she was also the music director at the Unity Center in Vancouver, where I first met her in my early 20s. And we would connect regularly with truth teachings. And one day I came to Eleanor and I said, Eleanor, I wonder if you could help me with a little problem that I have. And she said, sure. I said, I seem to be moving my energy, my vibration field. I want a bigger and more expanded life. And I find myself pulling back. I find myself being in conversations that I don't want to be in, with situations that aren't of the highest good. And I remember her looking at me straight in the eye, and she said, you must never lower your vibration because someone else wants to be in the vibration that they want to be in. You must allow people to have their own spiritual journey wherever they're at. But wherever you are, you must always be rising for wider and deeper places. Eleanor was a consciousness teacher, and she taught by example. And that day, she taught me a new lesson about the importance of consciousness and the way that I vibrated in the world in my spiritual essence. Ernest Holmes, as you know, the founder of religious science, wrote a book entitled Science of Mind, which spoke of how people can actively engage their minds in creating change throughout their lives. And in his book, he explained how to pray, meditate, find self-confidence, and express love. Science of Mind teaches the unity of all life. Then intentions and ideas flow through a field of consciousness, which affects and creates the world around us. Charles Fillmore in Unity said that we must learn to spiritualize the intellect. And Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, used prayer and affirmations to change the vibration in her body and was able to recover from tuberculosis. And later a book was published entitled Myrtle's Healing Letters. Jesus was a master teacher, a mystic teacher of consciousness. And he is written in many of the wisdom texts around the globe. And there is a principle based on one of the fundamental teachings of Jesus. And it comes from Matthew 18:20. For where two or more are gathered together in my name, I am there amongst them. Now, in this particular passage, he was speaking from a metaphysical interpretation. The I am. The I am is the consciousness of you, that light consciousness. The I am of each person is lifted deep and wide and is infinite in nature. And when we gather together at any moment in time, especially in prayer, we are in a mastermind consciousness. This principle was explored very deeply by a unity minister named Jack Boland. And he developed a series of steps designed to expand this divine consciousness, designed to manifest transformation. Jack was a great mentor, and he definitely was a great mentor to me. In fact, my first official mastermind circle, although I think that I had been doing it all my life, I just didn't know that I was doing it. And you here in this circle on Zoom today have also been living this way, and yet he wanted to make it more conscious. He breathed and lived mastermind consciousness, this great creative mind, this divine mind that is available to us every second of the day. And wherever he went and with whomever he was with, he always found enthusiasm and clarity about life. And nothing ever swayed him from his understanding of spiritual principle and universal truth. He was a master teacher. And he also had a great sense of humor and was extremely skilled at getting people to look deep within with any challenge that they had, with deep compassion and humor. So the mastermind principle in prayer is a scientific method of focusing the power of thought for the specific purpose of establishing a even more direct connection with God, with spirit, with the divine, the mastermind. And when you combine your strength with that and one or more other persons, you will also feel this higher power, this higher sense of being expand. Again, it is a principle that is based on an ancient premise. Again, when two or more like-minded people come together, many, many times greater than the sum of the individual energies is expanded. It also teaches that you can believe for yourself, but you can also believe for another person and accept something that is true for you or them. Things that you might find difficult to conceive of yourself, another person can be there to lift that up in prayer consciousness. Thousands of people have demonstrated dramatic and positive changes in their life and have experienced a happier existence. We're together here in a group today. I would call this a mastermind group when two or more are here. And if you wanted to meet regularly in an atmosphere of trust and harmony, you could find a prayer partner, a mastermind partner for the purpose of providing mutual support and encouragement. It is established not to solve each other's problems, but rather that the group is established in surrendering and letting go so that the mastermind, divine mind, can work on any problem area or challenge, whether it's for healing, whether it's for relationship, prosperity, any requests are fully and properly made within a mastermind group. And it is amazing what begins to occur. It can happen at any time, anywhere. But what can be really good is if you can have a regular mastermind circle where you are meeting regularly to support each other in the highest vibration possible. And then when you meet, you also get to share your progress, not your perfection, but your progress on the things that you may be asking for or have asked for in answered prayer. Each week that you meet, or each time that you meet, any person can lead up and facilitate this time together. But the most important thing is to go into this state of mastermind consciousness. And this is possible through what Jack experienced was an 8-step prayer process. And he designed this because he would have people come in for spiritual counseling. And here at CSL, you also have your treatment, your practitioners who also bring that forth. So this is just another tool that you can put in your own bag of good things to keep and to move forward in your life. He discovered that when someone came in with a problem, a challenge, that what was needed in order for miracles to unfold was a place of surrender, believing, understanding, deciding, and forgiving, so that when you got to the point where you were ready to ask for whatever it is that you are desiring in that given moment, that you are open and receptive to this opportunity. I'm going to just quickly go through these 8 steps, and I am going to also take us through a meditation where we together can have a mastermind circle. So the first step of the mastermind is a step of surrender, that we admit that of ourselves, that we in our human self are powerless to solve problems, powerless to improve our life, and that we need help. And to be powerless does not mean that you don't have empowerment. It means that you are surrendering that part of the ego that wants to hold on to things, that doesn't want to let go, that is stuck in a habit or a thought formation that is causing harm, not only to themselves, but those around them. So surrender was something that was extremely important when we go into our prayer consciousness. And step 2 is the step of believe, that we come to believe that there is a power greater than ourselves, that this divine mind, this mastermind, can change our life. So if we are surrendering all the parts of ourselves that are not working in the way that we would like, or the way that we know that they are to be intended, when we let go and we release fully, we immediately are in the step of belief. Because when you let go and you're willing to be open and teachable and humble, you are ready to believe in something that is much greater than your human self. Step 3 is the step where you are absolutely willing to be changed, that you understand that erroneous self-defeating thinking has been the cause of problems, unhappiness, fears, and failures. And when you are willing to have your belief system and attitudes changed, your life can be transformed. If there's anything that you are holding in consciousness that is not for your highest good. In this step, we become willing to be changed. And step 4 is the step of decide, that we now, in this moment, make a decision to surrender our human will, and we allow our willingness to allow the divine mind, the divine God in us, to change us at depth. And then we get to step 5, which is the step of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is one of those steps that many people can have the most difficulty with. And that is one of the reasons that this scientific prayer that Jack put together from his own universal teachings that had come from all of the wisdom that he had gathered. And in particular, the law of forgiveness is the law of allowing the circulation of love to be consistently and constantly moving in and through you. That if you have any business situation, past health challenge, a relationship that didn't work out so well, prosperity, maybe financially, you are still holding on to old belief systems around what true prosperity is. Well, this step of forgiveness, truly forgiving and releasing everything fully and completely, will allow a new presence and vibration to come through you in your body. And this requires us to forgive all persons who may have harmed us in the past, all situations that may have hurt us in the past, that we release any person, place, or thing that has caused us harm. And most importantly, forgiving ourselves, to instead of holding on, to be forgiving, for love, for this beautiful energy of compassion. And then, this is the great part, is the step of ask. And in this step, what we do is we make known a specific request, whatever problem area, whatever is coming forth as a call from the universe. And when you are in a mastermind group, you will know what that is when you get to this step, because these are specific requests that will allow your world to open. And in some groups, you may have even more than one request, but the idea is this step is about affirmative prayer, that we affirm what we want in our life. And that does not mean that we do not deny a particular human situation like a health challenge or a huge financial problem. But in this step, we affirm what we want, and we are giving away what is not working. So this asking in this specific request allows our partners to support us, and we know that the divine essence, source, is fulfilling our needs. And so in your group, each person would go around and they would specifically say what their request is, and then the facilitator would support that person in the request, and they would ask that everyone in that circle support that request, and that we know that that need is being fulfilled. Step 7 is the step of giving thanks. That in this step, we give gratitude, and we have an attitude of gratitude, and we give thanks that the mastermind has responded to our need, to our request, that Source has already gone to work, and that we assume the same feelings we would have if our requests were fulfilled, and they are. In divine order, they are already fulfilled and manifested, and it is so. And then the last step is where we dedicate our life, in that we came into this world with a sacred contract, a contract that Source, that our divine essence that comes from the highest place, our God self, which is us, that we have this contract where it is agreed that the mastermind, that Source will supply us with an abundance of all things necessary to live a success-filled and happy life. We dedicate ourselves to be of maximum service to God and those around us, and to live in a manner that sets the highest example for others to follow. And we remain open and responsive to God's guidance, to Source's guidance, that Source within us, and that we go forth with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy, for we are at peace. And this dedication is something that we can live by. And so this idea of mastermind consciousness within a structure is a very powerful prayer process based on consciousness teaching, cosmic light teaching, cosmic Christ consciousness. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in the name of love, then the I am is in the midst. And so mastermind principle can also be used with so many other spiritual practices and teachings through the power of affirmations, goal setting, personal inventory. We have transformational tools, and we have a system that can allow this to happen. And so I will end with a poem by David White, a great Irish poet who is doing a lot of consciousness work on the planet right now. And he does some wonderful work with conversational leadership. So I'd like to end with that. Working Together is the name of the poem. We shape ourselves to fit this world, and by the world are shaped again. The visible and the invisible working together in common cause to produce the miraculous. I am thinking of the way the intangible air passed at speed round a shaped wing easily holds our weight. So may we, in this life, trust to those elements we have yet to see or imagine, and look for the true shape of our own self by forming it well to the great intangibles about us. And so I thank you so much for being here today in this circle of caring, in this mastermind consciousness. And I think we have a few moments, and I would just like to take us into a very quick meditation based on these steps. And so if we could just take a moment now and close our eyes and allow a deep breath to be your body. And as you exhale, just know that we are gathered here together in a celebration of this day, and that from deep within the silent space, a voice can be heard, the voice of your highest self. And so we are the I am. We are without beginning or end. We allow our consciousness to not be bound by time or space. And we allow the healing tones of Source, of God, for that is thought and the healing energy as we go into a very short mastermind prayer. And so I ask everyone right now to admit that of themselves, that they are powerless to solve problems, powerless to improve their life, and that they need help with the empowerment of the divine. And together in your own mind, you can say, I surrender, in your own mind. And step 2 is a step of belief, that we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves, the mastermind, Source, is changing our life. And if you are ready to take this step, and I know you are, you can say in your own mind, I believe. And step 3 is the step of understanding, that we are willing to be changed, that we release any self-defeating thinking, and we know that any problem areas, unhappiness, fears, and failures only mean that we are ready to have our belief system and attitude changed in this moment so that our life can be transformed. And if you are ready to take this step, and I know you are, you can do so by saying in your mind, I understand. And step 4 is a step of decide, that we now make a decision to surrender our human will and allow our life to be through the Source, through our mastermind consciousness. And with this, we ask to be changed at death. And if you're ready to take this step, and I know you are, you can do so by saying, I decide. And now we get to the step of forgiveness, that in this moment in time, we forgive ourselves for all mistakes and shortcomings, and that we also forgive all persons, places, and things that may have caused harm, and we forgive ourselves for any past mistakes. And if you are ready to allow the law of love and the law of circulation to move through you now, you can do so in your own mind, in your own heart, by saying, I forgive. And step 6 is where we get to ask. We make known our specific request for whatever it is, whatever area of life that you are most in need of. And in doing so, we are asking all of our mastermind partners, everyone in this circle, to support us in knowing that the mastermind is fulfilling your needs. And so in this moment, allow the ask, allow the request that is bubbling up from inside of your spirituality, your oneness place and allow this to come forth. And in your mind and in your heart, you can ask for this now. And so we say together in our own minds and heart, I ask. And step 7 is the step of giving thanks. That we now give thanks that the mastermind is responding to our needs, and that we have the same feelings we would have if our requests were already fulfilled, and they are. They are manifested in the right and perfect way, and we give thanks for this right now. And if you are ready to take this step, and I know you are, you can say, I give thanks. And step 8 is a step of dedicating our life to this sacred contract in which it agreed and is agreed that Source, that Mastermind is supplying us with an abundance of all things necessary to live a successful and happy life. We dedicate ourselves to be of maximum service to God, to Source, and to those around me, to live in a manner that sets the highest example for others to follow, and to remain responsive to God's guidance. We go forth with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. And if you are ready to dedicate your life to this awareness, to this experience, to this oneness, to this consciousness, we say together in the quietness of our own mind, I am at peace. I am at peace. And so anytime, anywhere, you can call upon this power and presence, and you can call upon someone to support you in this mastermind consciousness. We are here to expand and bring forth deeper awareness of our spiritual essence, of our spiritual nature. And for this we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is the way it really is. Thank you.
Oh, thank you to you, Janet. That was so many opportunities to share and learn. And thank you for sharing the First Lady of Jazz. You're a way shower. And so in so doing, she becomes a way shower to each of us. And the mastermind consciousness, I am at peace. And we would say, and so it is to that. And now, let's share an invitation. This is not an imposition. It is not an obligation. It's an opportunity to participate in abundant sharing. So let's gift from the infinite possibility field as the conduit of spirit that we are. And I do say gift intentionally because that is the energy in which to share in the energy of prosperity. I am for giving. Join me in saying our abundance affirmation. Let me just bring that up. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. I am grateful. As a charitable organization, we offer many ways for you to support your community. E-transfer at admin at CSL on the Lake. Click donate on our website. Mail a check. Yes, we still do that. To Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, 20 Bonnie Lynn Court, Toronto,